All right. Welcome back, Luxies, and welcome to the Luxury Live Show. As usual, I have with me my co-host, fashionably Amy, and I'm Kat. And it's good to be back. Happy New Year.
Happy New
Wow.
Year.
It feels like I haven't even done a live for, well, it's just 2 weeks, but it feels like a long, long time.
Yeah, it's been only 2 weeks, but it does feel like I haven't even been on YouTube. I didn't even post regular videos
Right,
at
right.
all.
It's
Well, one that I pre-filmed and then I started editing throughout the month, but like it was literally not new content or anything like that. So, but it's good to be back.
yeah,
I
it's
hope
good to be
everyone
back.
had a great holiday season. And I can't believe it's already 2024. Like seriously.
Tell us in the comments what you did for New Year's. I told myself, okay, this is not me just saying, oh, I'm old, but I really told myself that this particular New Year, I'm gonna try and wait until it's midnight and just look outside the window. But I could not. I could not. I was already in bed. I was like,
Oh, good for
at least
you.
at least let me hear the fireworks. And I could hear people shouting, Happy New Year. And I was like, okay, Happy New Year. Okay, I made it. I fell asleep. I was so tired. I don't know for whatever reason. Anyway, let us know. What did you do during the New Year? What did you do during the New Year?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Nothing. Stayed at home. We actually the day before New Year's, so basically like you said, right? You were asleep before midnight, but during the 31st of December, both my husband and I, we were just deep cleaning the house. Literally, we were sweating like so much because we were like putting things together, putting things back, basically, not put together, putting things back, a lot of vacuuming, a lot of like deep cleaning the washroom, and just like because I guess we've been very lazy or it's just been accumulating. It's just so hard. The holiday is so busy. And so we just want to make sure that on the first day of January that we wake up with a clean house, clean
Yeah,
bathroom.
it
And
feels
that's all
good.
we did, nothing else.
Yeah, so this is a quiet new year, but I guess, like every start of the year, it's always very exciting. So I'm going to apologize because I actually changed my orientation for my filming. So my head's going to look this way a little bit. But anyway, because my table's on this side now. I
Oh,
wanted to have a different background for the new year, like change it up a bit.
it's a nice background.
Yeah. Don't want to look at my Hermes boxes anymore. I'm sick of them anyway. Let me open the slides and let's chat. All right. Okay. So every year for the past, is this our fourth year, Amy?
I think
Fourth.
so.
Yeah. Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
I kind of lost track at this
Yeah, I
point,
lost
but
track
let's
already.
just say yes because I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we started in.
2020.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, is it 2020?
Yeah.
So this is our fifth.
No, it's still 2024. Well, we start
Oh
mid of
wait,
the
we
year,
didn't start
right?
at the beginning of 2020. So okay,
That's
yeah,
right.
it's still on the fourth year, but yeah, it just felt like an eternity for sure.
It feels like so long. But thank you everyone for, sticking with us and obviously joining the membership as well. Thank you for the support. So this year, as usual, every year we talk about our luxury mindset. And we started this, I think maybe in the third year. Like this is something our third year running doing this, where we sort of round up what we want to do, kind of like luxury goals, resolutions that we want to set for ourselves this year. And obviously, we reflect on last year and tell you how we did and how we did not do so well. So, just some administrative things before we go into the chit chat is here we go. So, it's our calendar. And yeah, we have some things coming up this month. Today is the luxury mindset. Next week, members, we're going to talk about the mini Lindy.
Wish
Amy
list.
loves the mini. I mean, I have some thoughts about it, so we'll do that as well. And then I guess it's going to be interesting to do Phoebe Philo. Yeah, we'll think that's a interesting collection. Was sold out actually. Most of the things were sold out.
Mhm.
We'll talk about wish list. So we have quite a few things lined up, and hopefully next month onwards we'll bring back some guests and all that. So if you look at the extra member session that's on Sunday here in Singapore and Saturday night, we've changed the timing, and that's because I had a change in my personal schedule. I am unable to do afternoon sessions anymore because I had some change in like my classes. So we're thinking of moving it early in the morning and kind of like early evening in Saturday might be a good time. Early, we just get up, having our coffee. We'll have a chat on with the members on Sunday. So do look out and follow us on our community post so that you don't miss out on the members' lives.
Yeah, I just posted the calendar earlier today, but I'll probably repost it again because
Yeah.
we just modified the timing slightly. So, but as long as you're following both of us, you will be able to see the thumbnails pop up whenever an episode comes up.
Yep. Okay, and then of course we don't do this very often, really once in a blue moon. But if you want to join the members, it will be really awesome. We had such an amazing chit chat last month, where members shared their stuff, and honestly, some of the things gave me FOMO as well. Like, wow, members had a good 2023 on all your items. So thank you. So if you want to join us, it's a fantastic community that we've built together, talking about luxury. Okay, so I'm gonna let Amy go first, and yeah, I'll let you do a little recap first.
Okay, thanks. All right, so just a quick recap of what my luxury mindset was last year. I said that in terms of clothing and ready to wear, I wanted to focus on basics. So for me, it was more about buying all just very basics, as in like it has to be basic patterns, basic shapes, even basic colors are good, and that duplicating basics is not a bad idea because I tend to love to duplicate things because that's sort of one of my weakness. If I like something, I buy multiples. But I know that when they are not all ornamental and all very like patterny, it will go well no matter how you mix and match within your wardrobe. So that was the goal. And I also said that I wanted to either eliminate or kind of reduce a lot of the fast fashion. In terms of in terms of jewelry, I said that I wanted to continue to grow my fine jewelry collection because I mean I've been buying fine jewelry for a few years now, but it was it's always been a slow progress, and I like that because I put a lot of time and effort to thinking about each piece, and so far I've done so well. Almost every piece that I buy, I wear constantly, and some of them I actually wear 24/7. So I wanted to continue to do that. And in terms of handbags, I said that, you know what, starting from 2023, less is actually more because then I would be able to rotate everything and it's a lot less anxiety to look at things that are just on the shelf. So those were some of the luxury goals I had last year, and we'll see how
They
I
were good goals. There's a
Yeah.
couple more. This one we added last year, sort of extra stuff.
Yeah, because these, luxury goals are great and all, but our whole like mental health and just like in general health being is just as important. So I wanted to I didn't know how, and I still probably am not so good at it, but I wanted to get better sleeping habits. I wanted to kind of like help with my or at least make improvements in my sleep patterns. So we'll talk about that. And I also mentioned a little bit, which I didn't really talk about in the past. I mentioned that I wanted to allow less of the negativity and the other people's judgment towards me affect me, which is very difficult, but it is something that I do kind of have to face as just being on a public kind of platform. And it's not that I knew exactly the answer. Like these things, it's always a learning progress. These are not things that you can just change like tomorrow. But I did touch on those things, so we'll talk about that as well. All right, so what about this year, right? This year for me, it's about refining the same or similar goals that I had last year. So let's talk about my wardrobe. what sort of goals can I refine from what I had last year? Last year, I said that, okay, instead of buying just like a lot of self-portrait, like, you know how self-portrait has a lot of intricacies and like each dress is like so beautiful and everything. But once you wear it once, it's like if you wear it like 3 days in a row, everyone's gonna know what you wore. And it's not about the brand, it's more about just choosing more basic pieces. So this year I want to further that, but not only that. My goal this year is to continue to curate the capsule wardrobe, or at least the wardrobe that is still on the basic side, but I only will buy it if I need it. So that's the one thing that I need to ask myself every time I buy something now. I'm going to ask myself, okay, do I need it right now? So if I'm in the middle of winter right now, I'm not going to go and buy that summer item. Like, I'm going to try to do that. I know it's very hard, especially when it comes to luxury. A lot of their stuff, like there's right now, I think we're seeing the spring summer collection come out, and we're in the middle of winter, which is so crazy. So that's maybe an area that I will have a little bit of conflicting challenges. We'll see how that goes. We can update you in a half a year how I end up doing. But in general, I still want to respect the fact that if I only like, I would only buy it if I need it like right now. Not for some future occasions. Especially, I tend to buy a lot of things that I tend to buy a lot of is like dresses, because I just love being in dresses, even though I don't need a gazillion dresses. So I should stop buying for like, oh, maybe this will be good for our wedding, this will be good for that occasion, that occasion. So I want to eliminate that. At least this is the refining of the goal this year. Because the issue with a future occasion is that sometimes it doesn't happen. I have sold or rehomed or reconsigned some ready to wear with tags on. A lot of very expensive clothes, even if they're not expensive. Let's just say they're from Zara, Uniqlo, whatever. It's still a lot of money because that's gonna just accumulate over time. So whether they're expensive or not, just don't buy for a future occasion. That's what I'm gonna try to do. I'll still continue to focus on quality. I think I didn't really buy any fast fashion, actually, come to think of it. I mean, I've bought some Uniqlo kind of collaboration t-shirts, but that's just because I don't know, I just wear them as loungewear almost, and I wear them when I visit my nephew, so I'm actually using them. So those are kind of okay, but that's a one-off sort of thing that I did. It was just because of the collaboration, and I didn't buy any other collaborations other than that one. So I really felt like I did very well on just focusing on the quality pieces and the basics. And ultimately, the goal is to create. I'm not saying that it will happen, but ultimately, my goal is to create something that is closer to a capsule wardrobe, where every piece that I put together will match together. Like, I don't have to put too much effort in trying to match them. That would be my ultimate goal. But yeah, if you look at the first 2 points that I put in here in the slide, that's what I want to do this year, is to stop buying for a future occasion and to only buy when I need it.
Did you buy anything last year for a future occasion, like so
Oh, good question.
2023?
I okay, I did not buy any self-portrait last year, so that was already a good sort of like thing that I stopped myself from doing. I didn't buy any fast fashion. I think the place that I did in my head is supposedly a mistake is I bought some ready to wear that I wasn't completely in love with. And that was partially influenced by, just the journey, the pre-spend. And some of them I thought I would be able to incorporate. It's sort of like you give yourself the permission to like, oh, maybe this will work with that top that I have. And then you kind of just like think that you can make it work. But in reality, once I bought it, I hardly even wear it. or hardly, or if I try to push myself to wear it, I don't love it. It's almost
Mm.
like, why am I even wearing this? It's not bringing me joy. So I've had those mistakes. It's not too many, but I've mentioned the ready to wear element in my video and my worst purchases. I've mentioned that. So it's not necessarily a future occasion, but it was sort of like a purchase where I thought that, oh, even though I normally don't go for that kind of shape or that kind of material for pants or whatever, I thought I could make it work, but it turned out I couldn't. So yeah.
Yeah, so you're doing well on this future occasion. I used to do this quite a bit, especially like weddings, or like you think, oh, I'll use it for a dinner, date night, or some special, not even a special occasion, like some, it doesn't even have to be a wedding. Like you think, oh, maybe one of those going out days, I could
Yeah.
use it. I used to do that, but for me it was the matter of I think the point that you said here, the first thing is, do I actually need it now? That would eliminate the future occasions kind of naturally, because you force yourself to say, well, if I don't wear it straight away, um, then I don't need it in my wardrobe at all. So I think you're doing really well on that. I mean, how many weddings do we go for anyway?
I mean, I use wedding as an example,
Yeah,
but to me, dressing up is already an excuse to buy things.
true.
That's
It's hard.
basically it. Uh, just to have more choices. But I find myself struggling with more choices. The more choices I have, the more I'm confused because I'm like, I don't know what to wear. And then I feel like I have nothing to wear. So that's kind of like what
Mm,
I've created for myself is the more I have, and it's not that they're not nice or anything, but like sometimes you even forget that you bought something, or you just you don't see it. Let's say
true.
it's like in between, because the more you have, the more you kind of have to find space to store all of that, and space is finite. Okay, we're not getting a new house or anything like that. We're not building any new closets.
True.
So for me, it's always finite, and I have to just rearrange. But sometimes rearranging makes me forget that I have those things, and so
Yeah.
that's kind of like a problem that I have always had. So it's not like a new thing. It's not like I did that bad last year or anything. It's just a constant thing and a constant learning process for me, and a habit, I suppose. And it's also not just like, I'm not saying that is all bad because I love fashion, I love clothes, so I still enjoy it. Like I just want to enjoy it to the point where I make it efficient and that
Mm-hmm.
I'm not wasteful, because
Mm-hmm.
it's not about buying the cheap clothes or the whatever. It's about buying things that I actually use and constantly use, not just one time. So um that's sort of like the idea behind it. And just
Yep.
refining the goal will help me kind of further that goal, I suppose, to achieve the ultimate closet. Whether that happens or not is like another another
I guess
discussion to be had.
it's always evolving, but I mean, probably in the earlier years it's more experimental, and you have to make the mistakes to know now you like basics. Like you have to go through that whole, I bought too
Mhm.
many, I buy because I buy it for occasions, I don't. You have to know, do that. That's how I think, right? You have to make the mistake to ultimately say, okay, that habit doesn't suit me, and now I need to undo the habit. And yeah, you sort of like just continuing evolving your wardrobe, and now you've sort of honed in that, okay, I like basics, this is where I want to grow my collection. 10 years from now you might actually change again. It doesn't mean that, oh no, I bought basics all
Mhm.
this while is wrong. It could. And I think that's just another chapter in your wardrobe.
Yeah. And so even on that picture, sorry if you can go back. In that picture, there's something new that I'm wearing here. I'm filming that haul. I'm so sorry, guys, but like I've been so not filming this past month. But anyway, even in this picture, I wore some of the new things, and this is what I mean. They're both kind of like the top and the bottom. They're both very basic items on its own, but that's the thing. That's what I like about it, because these pants will go with any sort of like tighter fitting top, any. And
Mm.
then this sort of turtleneck will go with a blazer over it, no blazer over it, a scarf over it, any sort of pants, a skirt underneath. It's just so easy to mix and match basics. That's what I mean by basics. It doesn't mean that they're cheap or anything. They can still be very good quality. Some of them can be ready to wear quality, but they're simple. That's what I mean by that. So it just eliminates you from having to have such headache styling, such complicated and like sometimes monogram or a lot of ornamental things. Just eliminates you to having to think about those things.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Okay, next. Oh gosh, guys. So side story. I've been telling the world, at least on my channel, on the Luxury Live Show, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been like obsessing. You know, like last year, my last year, my luxury mindset is that I want to focus on fine jewelry and continue to grow that fine jewelry collection. And so the Tiffany lock was the piece that I went for last year. And then this year, I am sort of like, I'm really, really, really loving the hardware collection. Ever since I hosted Karis on the Luxury Live Show, and she kept repeating to me, I'm like, just go try it. Go try it. I think you'll love it. I'm like, she kept drilling me for like that 5 minutes during the Luxury Live Show. I don't know if you guys remember, but ever since then, I've been so sort of like obsessed with the whole line. So I finally went to Tiffany and I tried what you see here in this picture. So I have two different pairs, two different earrings actually, but they're the same line. It's just that one is a plain gold, the other one has diamonds, and then the necklace is the bigger necklace, the one with the graduated. It costs an arm and a leg, and I I didn't buy it, but like I'm just like, oh my gosh, guys, should I buy it? Anyway, you can tell me. I'm polling right now with all the Luxees. Should I buy it? Because that
How
necklace,
much is it? Tell us how much is it? I'm curious. I actually really like this piece. I don't remember seeing the price, but I remember it was pretty expensive.
I
Is it
actually
like
went with a few friends. I went with my my friend from out of town, Nettie. I went with
yeah.
Victoria, and then Nettie's mom was also there. And they made a really good point. Because I was like, oh, I just love it so much, but I really in my head I couldn't pull the trigger right then and there too, because the price, right, is after tax, and who knows when a price increase is gonna come. It doesn't matter. After tax right now today is just, I think it's just shy of 27,000.
Oh.
It's like more than a Rolex. It's insane expensive, and it's a really gorgeous piece, but it's definitely not a piece I will wear 24/7, contrary to my lock bracelet, which is where I'm having a little bit of a conflicting. And that's just for the necklace, not the earrings. The earrings is different. Like earrings are a little bit less depending if you get the diamonds or no diamonds and which size, but my gosh, I just love this whole line. I'm just obsessed. Anyway, let me
I
know what
think
you guys think.
okay, so this is me being like terrible because when I was going like it's 40, 50 because
It
it's
probably
solid.
will after a price increase.
It's like solid gold and all that, right? But the thing is, when you said 20 plus, I was like, oh, okay, you know why? Because in my head, the thing that I have always wanted from Tiffany is the Slumberger ring. You know, that ring,
Yep.
that dinky ring, just because there's diamonds in it. And that dang thing is over 17,000 now. That it's just a ring. That's it.
Oh, I know. They have this necklace version with just a little bit of diamonds on one of the links.
Yeah.
And that is like, I think that is like 50 something thousand. But in anyway, even this plain gold one, like I know it sounds like, oh, it's just 27,000, whatever.
I mean, it's
But
still a lot. It's still a lot.
it's so much. Like there is
Yeah.
a lot of opportunity costs.
Yeah.
This is a whole pre-spend, or this could be, I don't know, it could be a Rolex, it could be a trip around the world. I don't know. Like it could be many
Mm.
things. A car, actually, if you need a new car.
I
So
need a new car.
exactly. So it's a lot of money in terms of like what you're losing if you're going to spend that money on that. And so I'm having a bit of a struggle because I really love it, but I'm like just
So what did the Nettie and all of them say to you?
oh, they all love it. But I think everyone's just not quite sure that it's worth it, basically.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Anyway,
gorgeous.
I
Anyway.
know it's so nice, right? Like, how often am I really gonna wear this out? I'm not sure, but I just love it, and I love getting a set, right? Because earrings, I think I can splurge on the earrings, and I won't feel too guilty about it. But like
Mm.
the necklace alone will make the whole set, and I feel like it's just gonna miss. It's missing a piece if I don't have the whole set. But at the same time, even if I have the whole set, it's not like I'm wearing it 24/7. So cost per wear is not quite there. But I will have this piece. So like I don't know. To further this goal, the fine jewelry goal this year, what I have decided to do
Mm.
is like in the past I said to grow fine jewelry, right? This year I'm actually gonna say not just to grow the fine jewelry stack, but to say no more to fast fashion, not fast fashion, fashion jewelry or costume
Mm.
jewelry. And I think I can do that because I don't know if you guys have noticed, and I can maybe make a follow-up video because I'm still kind of in the process of doing more rehoming, but I have rehomed and consigned many of my costume jewelry to the point where I've really reduced a lot of my pieces, and nothing wrong with the pieces or anything like that. It's just that similar to the clothes, when there's too many, you almost feel like, oh, should I wear this? Should I wear that? And also because they're not being worn every day, I feel like it's just a lot of like real estate in the jewelry box. And at the end of the day, something has to go. Like if I want to grow fine jewelry, not that costume jewelry can replace that, but like um fine jewelry is just sort of like what I want to wear now more than anything. And so to further that, I am gonna make, because fine jewelry is too expensive. Like just this one piece is gonna cost so much more money. I'm just gonna concentrate and focus on one item that I want. Whether I get it or not, that's a different story. But at least I'm gonna put my mind to ease and not think about so many. Because you know, when your wish list has so many items, you also get confused. So I'm just gonna think one piece, make it simple, make it significant, and try to get that.
Mm.
And so the question remains, I don't know, I'm not looking at the comments. Maybe we'll read them later, but the question remains is, should I get it? There is a smaller version of this. It's not graduated. It doesn't show up as much. It's not a statement. That one's slightly less, but that could be an option as well.
Mm.
Have I tried that one? I haven't tried that one in the exact combination because I think my essay brought me one with diamonds, and I'm just like, you know, obviously the diamond, I'm gonna like it. So it's not a good representation of the actual just plain gold, you know.
It's a gorgeous piece. I guess it's your whether it's your annual fine jewelry for your year. And I know some people that buy one piece of jewelry every year. That's it. They just buy
That's
that.
my
They
goal,
splurge on
yeah.
it. Yeah, that they just do that as a. And I think it's actually quite romantic because you just do one piece per year, and that's maybe significant or something. So I'm just gonna okay, whether you get this or not, I think I'm gonna add this to your thought process is that we should take our own advice. You know, we always say that buy the piece that your heart desires, and that you just mentioned you're considering getting something different because I don't know, maybe the price or something. But if this is the piece that you love, like this graduated one, I know it costs an arm and a leg, then maybe that's the piece that you should go for. Sort of like how you did it for your bracelet, right? Because you were going between, should I get it with diamonds or not diamonds, or should I get it? But ended up you got the piece that you like. Okay, I don't know. It's gonna cost me an arm and a leg, but it turned out to be the best piece, right?
It did. I think it made it easier with the bracelet only because I knew I was gonna wear it all the time.
Mm,
That made my decision a lot more justified, at least for only for my sake. I feel like, oh, every day I'm wearing this, and not only is it a great piece, it's very functional, easy to remove, easy to care for, it's super shiny. Um, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful bracelet. Because I was wearing it every day, I felt like it was easier for me to justify everything,
mm,
the cost, the guilt factor, all of those things. This one, I know I'm not going to wear every day, but I know every time I have an occasion to wear, I will be able to wear it. That's sort of like where my dilemma is.
mm,
It's sort of like if I am already on the way of like downsizing my fashion jewelry to the point where I'm just going to keep the key, maybe like one or two different sets. You guys know the heart set is my favorite set. So for sure that one is going to be still part of my collection, but like probably going to keep a couple other earrings and then the rest I'm okay to let go. So if that's downsized to the point where it's very minimal, where if I felt like a fashion jewelry day, then I'm going to reach for that collection. But if I felt like, nope, it's a very blingy, very serious, elegant um, day to go out, then this would be the one that I'm going to wear. Like that's how I could justify it, but it's still not 24/7. You know what I mean?
yeah, it's definitely not a 24/7.
Yeah.
Though it could be a very it could you could wear it during the weekends. I don't think it has to be special occasion because it's not so crazy. Like I think because you're like to me it's just a chain necklace with a bit more oomph to it. But anyway, let's not convince her to buy it now. You have
Yeah,
the
I'm
whole year to
so
think
torn.
about it.
I'm very, very torn about this one. Very, very torn.
Oh. Okay, I do see
And
some
just
comments coming in, so let's move on first, and
yeah.
we'll get into the comments.
Yeah, let's go through the comments after. But also, because I've been researching that line myself, I had no idea that it was around since 2017. That's how
It's
long
been
it's been.
around. Yeah, it's been around.
So the price has more than doubled. If you like, if just that alone bugs me. I'm like just kind of well mad at myself for not knowing earlier, but at the same time,
Ah,
if it was earlier, then I wouldn't have bought it anyway because I was not at that phase where I was ready for all this fine
true.
jewelry, right? But at the
Yeah.
same time, now that I know about it and I know that oh my gosh, it more than doubled the price. I'm so mad at that. And anyway, there's no going back. Same with handbags. So about handbags, um, my goal last year was that I wanted to buy more quality handbags but less quantity, which I think I achieved. I think I achieved that. What did I buy last year? Oh, I kind of blew it a little bit. Like at the end of the year, I end up with 2 Chanel 22 bags. But other than those two, I mean, Hermes, you can't really acquire that many bags a year anyway. So I didn't really buy anything else. Did I? I don't think so. Anywho, so how am I going to make it even better this year? I want to be more strict. So not only do I want to keep the quantity low, quality up there, but quantity low, um, I want to have a simple wish list, a simple goal. So simple doesn't mean that, oh, it has to be just one item. It's just not 10 items, I suppose. Not just like every collection that comes up, I'm like, oh, I like this and I like this, and I'm adding all of those to my wish list. I used to kind of do that, and I think it's fun back then because that's what everyone did. And also, it's just fun to kind of dream. But I think it makes you so confused, and you can derail your budget or your just the order in which you're acquiring certain things. And you know, we can talk a little bit about our thoughts on what has happened, like in terms of price increases that just happened. Also, that also kind of make it harder to justify going that crazy like it used to be, right? It used to be fun that way, but no longer the case. And okay, so just to recap, what did I do good last year, right? I kept it all neutral. I was not afraid to just buy black everything. I'm so proud of that. I rehomed a couple of bags. We can talk about that. And I also focused on my collection because I know a lot of people outside on the comments or just other people in general, they have a lot of opinion on what I should be doing. But it's my collection. I'm the one using it. So I am focusing on me. So those are the things that I did really, really well last year. I didn't do so well because there were some impulse buys. I am counting, and I keep mentioning it, I am counting the cocoa handle as part of that because even though it was not technically last year's purchase, it was at the end of the previous year. So I kind of am putting it together from the last year's because it was sort of like there was a little bit of anxiety when it came to like my 22 being defective. And then I was just like sitting on this credit and then still kept thinking about the bag. Yes, I finally bought it, but I also made some mistakes along the way. So that was something that I didn't do very well and that I knew I couldn't make that mistake anymore. So this year I want to keep it simple. I know what I want. There's only a few very, very specific things I want. And just because I want them doesn't mean that I'll get them. And I am aware of that. And I'm going to be okay with that also. So that's my goal this year. I want certain things, but it's okay to not get it.
Yeah, great goal. I think it's sort of because you've been really good at rehoming your things, and it's
Not really, it's just a couple.
well, it's pretty good. I think it's great. It's hard. Like once you have a very curated collection, and we talked about it like a couple of years ago, right? We said that once you hit a collection where it's solid already, that's your core, and if you want to bring in more things, you got to touch the core. So it's challenging and it's good because you still have pieces to play around with, to rehome and sort of curate your collection. Yeah, but there'll come a point where everything's like perfect and then you're like,
Yeah.
okay, what do I do now? Do I cut the Kelly? Which this is something that I'm going through this year, but it's not a goal. It's just that I am like, okay, what do I do now?
Okay, I'm definitely not there. I cannot imagine cutting any B or Ks. I don't have a C yet, but like I can't even imagine doing that.
Yeah.
Those would definitely not cross my mind ever. At least for now, it's not crossing my mind at all. But yeah, the rehoming, the rehoming is definitely difficult, not just because a collection is tight. It's also just a lot of sentimental value that you attach to it, and just like you thinking back at that point in time, how you got it, how much you enjoyed it, and all that. And they're still great bags. Like there's nothing wrong with any of them, but like you just have to give up somewhere else, and so it's sort of just you compromising a little bit.
Yep. So I'm going to ask you one question on your handbags before we go to your last slide. If you said stick to a simple wish list. So if I had to ask you what is in store this year, what would it be?
Yeah, I can answer that. So I mentioned that once already, and I'll mention it again. I definitely want a Constance 18. I never had a Constance. I've tried many Constances, but I never had one. So that's definitely on the list. I also would not mind getting, they call it the Chanel Kelly handbag, the Chanel Kelly.
the one that um
The one is an open top, and then it's just like, kind of
ah
has that trapezoid shape,
yep.
and it's just very simple, like quilted with a chain. um I would like that bag. Like, there's not many Chanel bags that I'm still obsessed with, because I already got both Chanel 22s
Mm-hmm.
that I want, so there's really nothing else I want except that one. I still want that one. um it's very elusive. That one's very elusive. I have no idea how I'm gonna get it, but that's definitely one of them that I'm like, if I have the opportunity to buy it, I will buy it. And another one that I'm gonna add to the list, but like I said, it's just a want. Doesn't mean that I'll get it, because anyway, repeating myself, but in Canada you can only get one quota bag a year. So
Right.
if I can get another quota bag that is not a Constance, I would like another Kelly actually. I want a Kelly that is like gray or something. Like, I want a lighter color Kelly, because I love the black to death. It's so beautiful. But sometimes I just feel like, I'm in the middle of summer and I just want to wear a bright ladylike bag, and I just don't have one. So I just want a bright or just a different color Kelly. Those would be the three things. I'm keeping it simple. If I have the chance to get those, I will.
Okay, great. Thanks.
So it
I
cuts off
think
everything
you
else, right? Like, anything else that comes up, we can talk about it. We can say that we like it, but I'm not adding it to my wish list, because these are the
right.
only three. Whether I get all of them or none of them is just, that's the wish list.
Yeah,
Keeping it
makes sense.
simple.
Keeping it simple. I think the constants will come.
Hopefully,
Have
yeah.
you told your essay?
All right. So to round out the luxury mindset with something that is not so luxury. So in terms of the sleep habits and like um a little bit of the kind of like mental health, in terms of like this, well, there's a bit of social anxiety associated with not just the being on public, but it's also
Oh, sorry. Oops.
also, I feel like just being an individual who's had lived with chronic disease for more than a dozen years, it's just adds to my social anxiety. It's not something that I love to talk about, because I feel like talking about it doesn't make anybody understand it any more than they can, unless they have experienced it, or if they have family members living with them that have it. So it's sort of just something that I've always kept it to myself. Here and there I'll like mention it, but like I don't really go into a lot of details. But these are some of the things that I know I am dealing with every day, and that I definitely want to improve. I think I'm always improving on it. Doesn't mean that, some days I'm more motivated to improve, and then it just goes up and down, right? There are days where I don't know, I'm working on a video and I just end up sleeping very late, or we're maybe binging on Netflix and we're just sleeping very late for like a whole week. So I'm not saying that I will be perfect. I don't know still how to fix the sleeping habits and the messed up circadian rhythm that I have. And with any chronic diseases, there's no sure way of like making it better. It's always about just managing the day to day. And so I feel like one way that I can control it, and only I can do it, is by making little improvements every day. So if I can make even a little small step every day, then in the grand scheme of things and over a long time, it will become a big improvement. So my goal this year, I I don't know why I decided to do that, but like I feel like for me, putting on, because I've been a very sedentary person since my chronic disease, because it's just not allowing me to exert, and I just have to manage a very fine line between overexerting and like just damaging my joints. So I've always been sort of like, I guess I've been giving myself the giving myself the permission to not feel guilty for not moving as much. But I feel like sometimes it's not about moving a lot, it's about just taking the step to try it. So every day I promise myself that I'm going to put on my exercise outfit, because I feel like the moment I put it on, I just want to at least go for a walk, or maybe even if it's just like to walk on a treadmill for 10 minutes, or to just go outside and take one round around the neighborhood, or like I feel like maybe if I just put it on, I will just start, I don't know, um cleaning up the bedroom or the house. Like that in itself for me is exercise. So I feel like just putting on the outfit will make me motivated. And that's what I want to try to do this year. Just every day I put on that exercise outfit. And the moment I put it on, I will feel more motivated to take that one step. And I've done, I think I've done it a few days already since the holiday has sort of ended. Like after Christmas, I've kind of tried that because that was a goal that I've been thinking about, and we were making these slides. And I think it's working because even if I'm very tired, let's say just that day I'm very tired, very fatigued, joints not collaborating. But the moment I put it on, it doesn't matter if I just walk for 5 minutes, or sometimes I put it on, I start walking for 5 minutes, but I want to continue walking until 20 minutes later. So it's just about taking that first step. So hopefully with more of that will lead to bettering the sleep and maybe helping me get stronger, so that even though I do have to face the challenges of chronic diseases, but just by becoming stronger, I can feel like I can recover faster. And the social anxiety thing is just whatever. It's just like I just have to, by feeling better every day, by making that effort, I'm happy with myself. And so it's about the progress. And so I feel like that's the one simplified goal that I'm going to make this year, because I think last year I tried to mix it up too much. I said I wanted to do this, I want to do that. I said I wanted to journal too last year, and it didn't work. I said I wanted to read. I said I wanted to, like, I don't know, go to bed by midnight. None of that worked. I made it too complicated because it's too many goals that I can't follow, and I'm not very good at following. But this year, I'm going to simplify it to one thing, which is to put on my exercise outfit, because by doing so, I already put it on. So I'm going to be more motivated to keep going, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. This is I think the putting on your exercise clothes every day, which is what I do every day.
Yeah, you
It's
already do
somehow,
it. Yeah.
yeah, I don't even wear, like, I wear, I just wake up, that's the first thing I wear. And even though I don't say I have a class or whatever, I will do my own exercise. It's sort of like, I'm like, oh man, I've already put it on, I might as well do something. It could be cleaning the house, it could be um I don't know, doing some weights at home or something. I think it will definitely make you want to move. And exercise is such a big word, because people are like, oh, if you got to exercise, you got to sweat it out, you got to jump around. Actually, no, it's sort of just getting yourself moving. It can be stretching, it can be just doing something. And for people that don't move at all or much, it's progress. So yeah,
Yeah,
I like this.
I think the reason why it sounds like it's a big deal for me, but it to you is like nothing, is because it's hard for it's hard for anyone to imagine this, like, discounting the sleep habit and all the other things surrounding it. It's just the fact that you wake up with pain every day. You're not motivated already because you're already waking up with like a bad mood. You're constantly thinking about your joints, which I have lived with, like I said, for the past more than the past decade. So it's not like I can get around that, but I felt like that is why it's hard to explain to someone who, like, it's not that I'm lazy. You guys know I'm not
Mm,
lazy. I'm very disciplined in many things, but it's to move my body is very difficult and less motivating because of the challenges that um, are just up and down every day. So, but I think it was so easy for me to say no to moving before because I'm allowing myself to rest. But I think this year it's time to make that change.
mm.
This year is the year that I want to just self motivate, and whether that changing into an outfit leads to just stretching, which some days I can pretty much only stretch because if I start walking for 5 minutes, I might just faint. And so if it's just a little bit of stretching and that's the exercise I'm getting that day, I'll be happy with. If it turns out to be cleaning the house for an hour, I'll be happy with it as well. Or if it turns out to be me going to the gym downstairs, and even though only start, I usually will start to walk for 10 minutes, and that would be my goal. But if I have the energy, I can keep going. So whether that leads to a half-hour walk or a 10-minute walk or a 5-minute walk, actually, it's all going to be okay. For me, it's about just making that 1% better every day.
Yep, you can. You definitely can.
And we're doing it.
And you're
I've
doing
been doing
it.
it. Well,
Yes,
I took some days off here and there, but like,
which is
um,
fine.
it's only because those days we actually went outside or we went to family's house. It was a holiday, right? But I already started doing that, and that's my goal is to do it every day.
Yep. And that makes it realistic, so
Mhm.
when you say, okay, I have to do it every day, and it's a good goal to set, but in reality, life is not every like your life is always slightly changing every day. Like you say, you go for a holiday, you've got dinners, you've got events. It's that's when it gets challenging, and um usually people will say, like, I fall off the bandwagon, and then it's really hard to get back on it. So it's yes, you want to be 1% better every day, but it's sort of like starting again, because every time you gotta restart, right? Coming back from a holiday, coming back from, I don't know, a week of rest, or sick, or you were sick. I think that makes it more realistic to start again as well.
Yeah, and I feel like my goal is not even to exercise. My goal is just to
Yeah.
put the outfit on. Literally, it's just the first step. That's my goal. My goal is not like I'm gonna exercise every day. I didn't say that. My goal is just to put on that outfit because I feel like anybody that tries that, like, just put on your running shoes. Literally, you're gonna want to just go out for a walk because you already put it on. So I think that just is self motivation. My goal is just to self motivate more myself this year, and I
Yeah.
feel like with everything else, it will just follow suit. Like if I get on, who knows, right? If I do end up exercising more often, maybe my sleep will be better. It doesn't
You
mean that
will.
I'll sleep earlier, but I could be sleeping deeper or I don't know, I could become stronger over time and then it will just help overall and just have a clearer mindset and that will help with social anxiety. So like it's just my goal this year is literally just to put on that outfit. I try to explain everything around it just to give examples, but those examples are just examples.
Yes, good one. It will definitely work. You will end up exercising in the end.
I'll just end up like I'll just have to buy some cute outfits. Like literally that would be a splurge that I will have to make, like cute exercise outfits so that I want to put it on every day. And then the
Yeah.
moment I put it on, I'm just gonna be like, oh, I just want to do something, right? So that's my goal this year. Self-motivate.
Okay, thank you. Great sharing. Thank you. I think we'll just quickly finish. I mean, we'll finish off and then we'll look at the comments. Okay, so let me recap. My mine's pretty simple this year because I think it's last year, 2023, for me was putting some boundaries on my spending because since jumping onto the Hermes journey and of course buying luxuries for so many years, I didn't have boundaries. I just sort of buy whatever I want, and as long as I pay my bills. But last year was something that I said, you know what, I'm gonna do a budget. I'm gonna budget better. I also tried to continue my no wish list um, idea. So I said, I want to create a mindset that I don't keep wanting to want things. It's not so much of like that I don't want things. It's sort of because when I think of a wish list in my mind, it's telling myself, okay, let me wish for something. And it's not looking back at what I already have. So I sort of created this sort of like no wish list. I don't want to wish for anything. If anything comes, I'll let it come and if I have the budget for it. And also, though in my mind I had goals I want to buy during the Hermes journey, I didn't want to keep wanting more things. Every time I look at something, oh, I'm going to add this to my wish list. I wanted to create that kind of mindset to keep myself, grateful for what I ever have, for what I have. Then eyes on a goal. So I had that kind of wishes. I had a goal, like, okay, Hermes still there. It was my Birkin, it was my Kelly, my mini Kelly, and then I had some self-care goals as well, which like Amy, maybe too many goals at one go that did not really work. So let's go through what I'm doing this year. Oh my goodness. So since I said last year was my first time doing a budget, totally did not work. Firstly, I did not anticipate how much I love luxury, but how much I love luxury. So now that I have gone through a year of trying to control it, this year I'm going to do it better. So I sat down with myself a few days ago to kind of relook at what I need this year. Obviously on my own, right? My own expenses. And like Amy mentioned, I need to buy a car this year. My car is totally, not doing it for me. And I'm just going to budget better for this year. And I also know what I want to buy this year, which makes it easier to set this budget. So I'm going to really, really try to set my boundaries stronger this year, really kind of lock it in. And I think it'll be easier because I have some real life expenses that I have to focus on. So I'm just going to try and budget better this year. And hopefully this is starting off my journey with being more financially responsible with my luxury life. And continue to say no to my essay. I think for me that last year I did pretty well with saying no. I was focusing very much on Hermes, and obviously that got me, I got introduced to more things and I did buy things, but there were many other things that I had to say no, and I think I'm getting better at it. LV also, I had a few occasions that an essay, not my essay, but an essay reminded me that I still wanted a nano speedy and shared with me many, many different designs throughout last year. And I managed to say no, even though I know I wanted one, but I was like, no, not the time, not this, not that. And I think I'm just going to keep going and practice this better.
That's a tough one because I was already wondering last year. I'm like, not to say that you can't do it, but I know every time I have tried to set a very strict budget to myself, it's always failed. Just because it's a year is a long time.
Yeah.
And when it comes to these frivolous things, and whether they're frivolous or not doesn't matter, it's just when it comes to even your budget for things that are necessary, it always goes over anyway. So to not go over for frivolous things which you want even more, because those are things that you just brings you joy, is even harder.
Yeah.
And with the collection launches and just like, you know, essays offering you special items or last one or limited edition items, it just makes every time harder. And every time you say no to something, it makes you feel like you're missing out. Then the next thing that you get offered, you want to say yes. So I've always thought that this was a very, very hard one. So I don't know how you will, like, I don't know how anybody, not just you, can enforce a very strict budget.
Yeah.
It's
So
very,
exactly what happened, exactly what you said happened, right? Because you have all the peripheral items, and I had all these things that I did not consider last year, where, say necessities that I was like, oh no, like this takes a chunk here, takes a chunk there. And then I get these excesses of suddenly I want to buy this, but it definitely will burst my budget. So the way I'm kind of like doing it this year is, in a way, very strict, but I did add a like a contingency amount to it, where this would be the only part that I would allow myself. So it has to become from control as well. But I have this sort of budget that I want to buy on my things, but I needed to add this contingency, which meant on other things I had to reduce, right? Because salary is not going up. and now I've got another expense, which is NATO. So I feel like I really had to take a step back and see my entire do a little bit of do a little bit of spreadsheet working and see where I can let myself go. So let's see how we do in 2025. But I feel a little bit more confident because so I think I'll tell you why I feel more confident once we reach to that slide, because a big chunk of last year was Hermes, right? The pre-spending is very, very unpredictable. And then if I wanted to enjoy other things, it just made me say, okay, I'll dig into my savings. But now that I'm sort of having a more stable journey with Hermes, I think that would help me with this year. So yeah, Hermes is definitely a problem with the budget thing, because you won't know if the collection comes and you like this ready to wear item in spring summer, and it's obviously it's not a cheap item. It digs into say the invisible budget that I have in my head, and then a bag comes and obviously it's tens of thousands of dollars. It was really hard. I could not manage it. Then I obviously like other things as well. So this year, fingers crossed, with the leveling again. So obviously I increased my budget. So that's something that I underestimated last year. I increased it. Then I added contingency. And looking at what I did last year, I think I'm in a better position. I might have some savings. I really upped it this year. I just did not. I overestimated myself last year. So this year I'm going to be a little bit more lax, but at the same time it's still stricter than usual. So me trying to be a little bit more responsible. Plus I have to be, because I got a little natto with me now. So I'm not going to say no wish list this year. I think it was a good practice for me for the past two. I think I started the whole no wish list thing 2.5 years ago through my YouTube. But it was a good practice because I was trying to set some gratitude in my head. Like, I love my luxury items, but I felt that I always had this habit of wanting more. So, and I'm like, and I'll make the excuse, okay, I'm going to put this into my wish list. I'm going to put this in my wish list. But it just became almost cyclical. And I blame myself, but I also feel like I blame a little bit of me on being on YouTube, because wish list videos are very, very fun to do. And it's nice to always add things into this invisible wish. But it meant that because I was creating content around wish lists, I felt that I was always trying to keep my eyes open on new things that I want to bring in. But maybe in reality, I don't need to bring in because I already have it in my collection. So anyway, it was a good practice. I think it taught me to be more observant on my existing items. and appreciate them. So, but this year, I'm going to say I have one true wish list. And that is, oh, dang it, I'm going to get my Birkin 25 this year. I thought about what I am. Like, I've never done the video, whether I'm a Birkin girl or a Kelly girl, or what sort of like a revamp of my first video. I think it's obvious. I just love the Birkin. And if I had to close the chapter with Hermes, I think this would be the bag that I want this year. And you know what? Even if it doesn't come this year, I think I'm fine. 2025, obviously I don't want to go through another price increase because they just had one, but I feel like this is could be like something that I want to round up my collection with. So yeah, I just want a Birkin 25 Itan. So to my last year's wish list, where I got my mini Kelly and I wanted the Birkin Cellier. I think I'm kind of glad I didn't get the Birkin Cellier because the whole year of waiting for it made me realize that I think I like the slouchier look. I have the Cellier in my Kelly, which the Kelly just absolutely suits it. But there's something so soft and relaxing and easygoing that goes with my style that the Riton just suits me more. So I'm glad that I did not get offered it. I mean, I would love to get offered it, but in a way, I think it's that's a silver lining because now I'm more sure that I am a Birkin 25 Riton. Togo, you don't have to give me any fancy leather. This is all I want. So yeah, one true wish list.
And I think this is a great goal because similar to what I said, you can have a wish list the moment you make it simple, and as long as you accept the fact that whether you get it or not is also okay, makes it so much easier and freeing because I think it's so upsetting when you have this wish list and you are you try. I think to a certain degree, even though you can't control how your essay will offer you you can still try harder in a way in the ways that you know, and that makes it very, very, very anxiety driven. So I feel like by eliminating the fact that you're no longer so fixated on needing to get that bag this year, will naturally help with your budget goal as well, because you're no longer gonna force yourself to go on that extra shopping trip or to feel like you're obligated to buy certain things when you don't have the budget or you just don't feel like it. That will make it so much easier to do those things.
Yeah, which is why I feel like this year, because we've been doing the Hermes journey for so long, there is familiarity with the process. There is understanding, and obviously there is already a collection that I have. So it was nice. Then I'll just lead to the next slide. I think I feel, especially for the past couple of months, I didn't just think of this slide and just say put it there, but I think for the past 4 months, I'm feeling okay, like it's kind of like time to say goodbye. I'm using this time to say goodbye very loosely, because it's not that I'm just suddenly saying never buying Hermes again. No, it's not that. I think it's sort of like really tapering it off. So to the point where, I want a Birkin and 25, and if it takes 2 years, 3 years, I'm still going to be a customer. But how often it has to, I think the things that I would buy from Hermes moving forward have to really spark, like I have to wear, if I say I like a fine piece of jewelry, when I wear it, it has to be like, oh my God, it just absolutely completes something that I don't already have. So I have to be very, very mindful of my items right now. So yeah, the journey, the chase has been really fun, really exciting. But I'm sort of kind of closing that sprint, right? I'm just gonna really keep it like a stroll. Like, yeah, if it happens, it happens. And I feel like that is where I'm gonna leave the Hermes sprint. I'm gonna call it a sprint, a marathon, and just keep it like an easy going. When there's something nice, a nice scarf that if I could incorporate to my life, I like, or there's a ready to wear, maybe in 2025 that I just feel like, wow, I need that. Yeah, I think it will be how I would appreciate the brand now. So I mean, it's still the beginning of the year, but it's becoming more and more like I'm sort of really internalizing it that great, great chase, but I'm tired. So I feel like it's time. It's time. It might take the whole year to say goodbye, but yeah, I feel like it's getting there.
Mm. It's definitely possible to be at that point because that's how I feel right now with Chanel. I've been feeling that last year too, but after getting back the exact same bags that I already had before that, but after getting back those bags that I knew I wanted, um, it feels even more so. It's not that I'm like, no, I'm never buying Chanel anymore.
Yep.
Of course, I still love Chanel, but I don't have the urge and um, I don't have the sort of like constant thinking about, oh, when's the new collection coming out? And there's definitely no wish list other than that one item I mentioned earlier.
Yep.
And it can be part of my collection, but it can also be not part of my collection. I'd be totally fine with that.
Yep. Yep. So what you are feeling with your Chanel is where I'm feeling with Hermes this year. I mean, not to say, if I just focus on one brand forever, I think it's sustainable. Like you just enjoy that one brand and you just buy occasionally. I think it's okay, but it's the I think it's also it's very mentally tiring, constantly thinking of it. Like, okay, I need to go in. I need to say my hello to my essay. I need to, every month, every 6 weeks. 3 years later, I'm tired. I'm tired, but I'm not. I'm also very grateful because I got things that I would never imagined getting. Right, I would never imagine buying a Birkin from the store, getting a Kelly, a Constant. It's like wow. But after this very intense period, it feels complete, right? It feels like I can even if I don't get the Birkin 25 Etan, I think it's okay. I just feel like I need a break. So yeah, I feel like 2024 is sort of enjoying what they have. And not to say Hermes pops like churns out a lot of things every single season anyway. So it's still keeping the eyes open on it. But do I really want to go in every month, every 6 weeks? I think I don't even think I don't. I just don't. I don't want to go in every couple of weeks. I don't want to go in every 6 weeks. I want to go in when I feel like, I want to buy something. Like how I would visit LV once in a blue moon, just going to check it out. And that feels exciting. So I want to bring back that kind of excitement rather than the whole, okay, this feels like a mission. Yeah. So 2024, that's my goal. That's my goal of kind of like settling more into a steady state with Hermes. Okay, so that rounds up my entire collection. So I think for me right now, because after chasing, after buying, after everything, I don't really get a lot of cost per wear. Like I have my gorgeous bags. Some items in my collection is being used a lot up to a point where I need to replace them, which is great, right? So I think for me this year is really improving the cost per wear of my items. And I use the word cost per wear because it's familiar but for everyone, but it's more of trying to use everything more. So whether it's my Hermes tops, my jewelry, which I have a lot of, or even my shoes, because I bought a lot of shoes from Hermes, but I always tend to go back to the same old thing. So this year, I'm trying to, every time I go out, don't just, go back to the same thing, which is familiar, is easy, it's cozy, but kind of vary the things that I use the things that I have and just use them more and more often. Yeah, and if I were to buy something, right? So if I were to buy something from Hermes or maybe Chanel or maybe Celine over the year, it's buying it if I know I can use it a lot. And I'm not so concerned about using it until it's totally worn out. I just want to make sure I can use it a lot and a lot. So if I can't, then I'll just stick with whatever I have already. So I feel like whatever I have as it today is more than comfortable, which makes my budgeting even better because I shouldn't be bringing more things into my collection. Yes.
I I think you're doing very well with cost per wear in general because you don't buy too many clothes.
But I
I
do
know
buy
you have a few
jewelry.
pair of shoes, a couple you don't wear that you bought from the sale. But other than that, I don't see you like jewelry. There's no problem there, I don't think. Which is like my problem with the hardware jewelry that I want. This is what I'm worried about, that I'm not gonna get enough wear out of that super costly piece. But really, back to you, right? I think ready to wear you don't have clothing. I don't think you have as bad an issue as me, at least.
Yeah.
Maybe shoes. I
Maybe
guess.
shoes, yeah. But so I have several pieces of Hermes, like tops, jackets. I have a jacket like I only worn it 3 times, and I've got some tops. I've got this silk sweater type thing that I have never worn. So there are actually pieces that I have that I have not touched at all. I actually wear a lot of just this. Whatever you see right now, these are just workout outfits because I'm gonna work out, and I'm always in this. And I also think it's my lifestyle, right? Because I just don't really go out Monday to Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Today, luxury live show. Tomorrow, gym. So I actually don't have the opportunity to dress up, and I'm also lazy because then I'll wear my gym outfit. So I think when it comes to ready to wear, what I've done, what I have bought from like Hermes and all, they're great pieces, but I'm not getting that use from them. And then the shoes will just add to it because I don't go out. If I wear something, I'll wear either my Oran or my sheep sandals. I just don't put on those sport shoes. If I put on sport shoes, I'll wear my Converse. So I'm finding the things that I bought, which are still pretty classic, I'm still finding it hard to incorporate into my current lifestyle. So what I'm trying to say is like, if I'm going to go out, like even if it's a short 15-minute, I am going to make the effort to put on a pair of nice shoes, pick a top, put a ring on. Like I'm just trying to really make sure I'm using some of the things that I've owned and not just keep them in the box. For that special occasion, for that, I need to go out only during the weekend for that lunch, tea, or whatever, then only I'll wear my nice things. No, I think I'm trying to really use my things now. I started to do it a little bit last year with my rings because I love rings. So what I've done is put, my, the tray that you gave me, I'll put it there. And even if it's a long work day, I'll put on a ring. And I feel, with like bracelets, I'll put it on and then I will just let it clank around. But I think that started me on this, like, okay, I really need to use my things because I haven't gotten a chance to do it. So with clothing, with shoes and jewelry. So it just makes me, I just have to be more strict this year when I want to buy things. Firstly, the budget is the main thing. But if I had to buy things, if I know that I cannot even use what I have, better not buy it.
I think you and I need to exchange the habit of, because for me, I always want to wear my nice clothes, especially if I have somewhere to go. It doesn't even have to be a nice place, even if it's to go to the mall. I like to be dressy.
Oh my
And
God.
so
I'm
I
the
like to
total
just
opposite.
pull.
I'm like, I could just go out. Like, oh, let me just say that. I could just go out like this and I'll be like, yes, I could not be bothered to change my top to my nice Hermes top. I just go out like that.
So I think maybe that's your maybe you could try that. So like I will try to put on exercise clothes every day just so I self-motivate, but maybe you instead you should at least try to put on your Hermes nice silk shirt
I
every
know.
time you're gonna go out, or like, you know, it doesn't have to be the same shirt, but like every time your friends ask you to like have tea, even if it's like 1 hour, just put them on anyway. Instead of going out like this, you know.
Yeah,
But the
we need to
moment you put
swap
it on,
some.
you'll want
We
to
need
wear it.
Yeah, we need to swap the whole like a little. I give you a little bit of me, and you give me a little bit of you, because it's really hard. Like this is so comfy. Like
I
oh my God,
know,
it's
but the point of dressing up is that it's not always comfy, but it looks nice, right? And then you feel so great that you wore it because then the cost per wear goes down,
yeah.
and then you look presentable too. Like I don't know, for me, there's I when I it's funny because when I went to Tiffany twice, but you know, the second time was with my friends, so we just kind of passed by. But like the first time I went, I wasn't really dressed. I wasn't as dressy. Let's just say that. Like I didn't put on a face, and I felt so dressed down because my essay ended up making me try so many things, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I wish I was dressed for this. Like that's why I'm like that day that I decided to be lazy, I was so mad at myself. So, literally, it's not like I was not dressed down, but like I was just not as dressy as I could be. And yeah, it's so funny. But yeah, maybe try that. Try to
I know, right?
just put it on.
I just yeah. Anyway, it's a challenge for me because I just want to jump out of bed and just take a shower, put my gym clothes on, get
Mm.
ready for the day, and feel like all right. So then the moment if I need to go out, I'm like, I'll just go out like that. I could not be bothered. So which though I love my luxury things, and I'm not buying them for a special occasion because I would sometimes, if I have an office meeting, I'll pick them out. But that has caused the cost per wear to be really, really high, like just once or two times. So because I just don't want them to sit there because I'm a kind of person I want to use it. I want to use it until there's a hole there, and I don't care because then I just feel like, oh my God, this is such a worthwhile item. But yeah, it's a challenge. So this year, I am now extending the whole cost per wear to say maybe I'll do like take little goals. Let's start with the tops. Let's just start
Yeah.
with the tops. Not even the shorts that I have, right? I think the shirt, yeah, I only got one, but not good enough. So maybe I'll start with the tops and just keep wearing it to like really wear it. Then I feel better. So I started with my rings. So now I'm trying to dress up with my wow. Wow. Got too many things, Kat. So now it's really like having to be really grateful that I have it and now just enjoy it. Okay. I had to put a picture of my girl. So last year, I said I want to read more. I want to wake up early. Obviously, none of that happened until the read more. Just forget it. I think I have decided that I'm not. I have left reading behind me. It was really good at the beginning. Like I started to read, but I feel like I'm not that person anymore. I used to be such a bookworm. I just need to accept that I'm not. I'm no longer that person. If I can get a short article in, I'm gonna be that 1% better, right? So I'm not gonna make that as a goal, but I think I'm gonna continue waking up earlier. I think with Nato in my life, I don't have a choice,
Mhm.
but it has given me the routine. And she has set the routine for me. I need to get out of bed by 7. And it just means I've been sleeping earlier as well. So somehow I feel I want to continue waking. Okay, 7 is not early enough because it should be 6:30. But so I want to try and keep waking up earlier because what I've noticed is if I sleep in, she'll sleep in. So I don't want her to pick up my habit. I think it's about keeping that routine that I have now making it more habitual. And that will allow me to spend more time with her, because once I wake up late in the morning, I can't take her for a walk. Literally, I'm rushing out to take her for a walk, dump her back, and I start work. So it's just not fair to her, which morning walks are her favorite thing to do. So yeah, waking up earlier for me has a purpose, and it just at least helps me with my goal, which I tried to start last year but could not do until until she came in my life.
Aw. Yeah, now that you have no choice, and also we're moving the Sunday, Saturday for us even earlier. Now you really have to wake up early.
I have to wake up. So, and you know what? It's like this morning. I woke up at about. Okay, so sorry. Waking up and getting out of bed is two different things. So this morning, I woke up at 6. Okay, I woke up at 6, but it was such a cozy morning that I did not get out of bed. But waking up at that point, actually, I'm alert. I'm like, ooh, I love the morning. I actually really like seeing the outside dark. Like, it's like, ooh, feels like such a nice day. It's just that there is another part of me that just want to cozy in back into bed. But my 50% is saying, if I get out of bed now, I'm going to be super productive, because I actually like mornings. I like, opening the window, staring outside, like, ooh, morning air. Yeah, so I think this year I'm just going to try and take that step to get out of bed. So it's that, maybe that's my 1% goal. Take that step to get out of bed. I might not succeed every single morning, but on the mornings that I do succeed on jumping out of bed, it's gonna feel really, really good.
Yeah, I believe you can do it. Just get up to pee, and then you'll be like, "Oh, I'm
No,
awake. I might as well be
no, I
awake."
always do that. I get out to pee, but I jump back into bed.
But now you have natto, so it's different.
Right. So this is definitely something that I want to do. So away from all the luxury, this is a luxury for me, because waking up early it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to start, because like you, I'm a night bird. I like to stay up all the way. I got one more final thing, and this is definitely I have looked into the whole budget. I put travel more this year, but it's not about doing many trips, because that's just not me. I just want to make one trip. I just want to make one trip out where it is a holiday. So 2023, I didn't do any holidays. In fact, my family came here and it was really nice, but it was very busy. So the whole December, I was stressed. Like I was just, I was a very happy stress, but I was like, okay, we got to do this. I got time, the airport, everything. But I enjoyed it. It was great seeing family. But this year, I really want to do. I just want to do a trip. Me and my husband just do a trip, and I put Japan because I just love Japan. It's easy, it's clean, it's not too far. I enjoy the food, I enjoy the life there. So just do one travel this year, and anytime this year. So I've already put it out there to my husband. I said, we are going Japan this year. I don't care. He's like, "Oh, okay." So yeah, that's a luxury item that I have this year. Luxury because I need time as well, right? Time to organize it, time to plan for it, and take off work, time off work as well. So
That's a good one. I can't
are
have
you gonna
this
travel
goal.
this year? You are, right? Did you
I
mention
am
it to me?
traveling, but that was planned last year supposedly last year, but it turned out to had to be a little bit delayed to this year. But it's not because it's not something that I could plan a lot ahead of time. This is not something I have the luxury of doing yet. So I do have a trip coming up, but it was planned quickly, and it was like literally we just had to delay it to February instead of the end of last year. Yeah. But maybe in a couple of years I'll have more luxury to like have this kind of goal. In a couple years time, hopefully. I'll be free.
Yeah.
I'll be a free woman. Well, not quite yet, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
All right. We hope you enjoyed that. So we'll see how we do, and we always reflect back half year. I think if I round up what I want to do this year is really sort of be more mindful of my items and use them more, and that would help me not buy more things, and I think that will help me be more successful in budgeting. So yeah, the Birkin one is my one true wish list. Whether and again, whether it comes or not, it's unpredictable. But yeah, if it doesn't come, then I'll just have to wait for it. Just be really super patient, which Hermes has trained us to be really, really patient. And I think I'm grateful for that journey, for that lesson. What about you?
Mine was about simplifying the goal this year. So every aspect of every goal that I have is about making it just so simple that it's hard to not follow. Like putting that exercise clothes, having that simple wish list. What was for the clothes again? I said, oh, only buy it when I actually have the need. Let's say, you know, well, not let's say, anytime I'm like, oh, I don't have that and I need to wear it. And then I buy it, not because I want to buy it for whatever. Maybe I could wear this, that, da da da. Da. Yeah. So I feel like it's gonna make it easier to follow and to make less mistakes. It's not about not making mistakes because I feel
Yep.
like I'm always going to make mistakes, but it's about making less mistakes and then feeling better about it. Right.
That's the only way you learn anyway. So, and we're always learning. It's not like only children make mistakes. We all make mistakes. We have to. Otherwise, you don't know. You always think you're right. So you gotta be like, yes, make the
Well,
mistake.
yeah, I mean, these are not like so serious either, but it's always good to have a goal, right? And as long as you're making progress, I think that is what you can be proud of. And whatever you still haven't been able to do, then you learn from it and then try to pivot. I think that's the only thing that you could do, right? Like I feel like for me, the biggest hurdle that I still have to kind of like continuously learn about has more to do with my lifestyle and mental health and physical health. So those are things that I know I don't always have control of, but as long as I do what I can control and make baby steps, I feel like that's all I can be proud of is to make those baby steps. Hopefully those will lead to bigger steps and bigger improvements over the time. It's about compounding. It's kind of like financing, right? Like you put a little bit of money
Little
every
bit.
day, it just keeps going up, and then over a
There's
long period of
this.
time, it's a bigger amount of money, right? Like I mean, it sounds easy. It is easy actually if you follow the rules. That is the hard part.
Yeah.
Is to do it.
There's a Malay saying. They say sikit sikit jadi bukit. So sikit sikit means little by little. Jadi bukit becomes a mountain, a hill. So sikit sikit jadi bukit is, and it applies to everything. And usually people use that like word, like saying for financing, but it it just applies to everything. You do a little bit, it will be a mountain. Okay, I'm gonna pull this comment. This is for you. Miss Animali is saying, I like the hardware necklace, but I don't think you rock it when you're 60.
It's a good point. I that's why I want
It's
to
a long way though.
no, but I
60.
still want to hear everyone's feedback because it may or may not be true, but like I will think about it, like I will have to think about it because that is the reason why I still haven't pulled the trigger, because otherwise I would have bought it already. So
True.
this, okay, 60. I mean, I was just watching. We just started a show, a Korean drama show, a few days ago. It's called Queen Maker, and I'm not gonna talk about the plot of the show, but it that the female lead. I was just looking at her jewelry every single day. She wears a different set of jewelry, and I sometimes I don't know the brand, but I noticed a lot of times it is from Tiffany. So, and she may be in her 50s in her role, or maybe in her 40s in the show, 40s or 50s in the show maybe. And I'm just thinking, like, it's definitely something I could still wear, like thinking about this comment, right? I could still wear it in my 60s, except I think in terms of style, that's maybe because it's chunky a little bit, but it has a bit of weight. It's not too heavy, but I don't own it, so I don't know. Like, you try it when you're trying something, you're so happy and you don't think about all these things. So I will have to like think about all these things, I suppose.
You know, there's one really popular, I'm not sure if she's an actress or she's a socialite. She's really, really old. She's like, I think she's in her 90s, where she wears like really thick black rim glasses. Is her name Edna or something? Like there was a cartoon that one of the characters was sort of in an image of her really thick glasses. But anyway, this lady, she's in her 90s. She's really popular and she's so fashionable. Not saying that you want to be like super fashionable, but maybe it's not about the age. It's sort of like how you see yourself dressing as you mature, and if this would suit, like if you can actually imagine yourself styling this whatever age you are, I think it's okay. I don't think 60 is still really young though.
It is for standards today, like these days, and especially because I am more of a dressier person. I think if you said,
Looking
I
for her
don't know
names.
who is less dressy, but even like jewelry is different though. Jewelry, but I think it has less to do with age, but more about having enough occasions to wear. That's sort of maybe what I have to think about. Like, am I gonna be treating it as I treat my clothes, where I would wear it even to the local mall? Like, that's what I have
Mm,
to think about, because I'm kind of already used to the fact that I dress up even when I go to the mall. And so am I gonna do that with the same thing with jewelry? That's where I have to kind of further analyze.
yep. Let me pull two more comments of people sharing about the necklace. Joe, so Amy, this necklace is gorgeous, but if you're not chasing a quota bag this year, just get it. But if chasing a quarterback, then you might have to prioritize. And I think Missy K, who's here as well, also says the same thing. Gorgeous. If you really like it, just get it. But you have to be realistic. It's the quarterback or the necklace. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, you guys heard it, right? There is still quota bags that I would like. Which is why it's making me very, very hard to decide. I think part of me is also trying to I am a bit impatient maybe for this one, because I am constantly thinking about, oh, when's the next increase
Yeah.
coming up? It's like making me go crazy a little bit. And also because I've been talking about this whole wish list thing for a while. Um, but if there's one thing I've learned over the years, is that it's okay to buy it when you're ready to buy it, not just because a price increase is coming.
Yep.
And so that's why I'm not acting on it.
Yeah. Better to
Yeah.
buy it when you feel like you're ready. Because chasing,
Yeah,
I mean, we've done it what, how many years? 10,
many
15
times.
years of this chasing the price. Or at least, you know what? I wouldn't say 10, 15 years. I would say these kind of price increase in the past 5, 6 years have been more and more apparent. So
Yeah,
we've been chasing it. It's like, that's it, whatever. It's still I mean, it's still painful, but you can't keep going, can't keep chasing it. So just get it when you're ready. Okay, one more. Everybody's not convinced. For the love of bags, Amy, I say buy it pre-loved. I
mhm.
don't think you'll ever get your money out of it if you fall out of love with it.
That is a good point too. I have contemplating buying it pre-loved. There's not a ton of pre-loved available, but there are some. Um, falling out of love of it, that's a tricky one. I wouldn't know, right? I really would not know. And you know what? It's not like I didn't do my research. I kind of have been binge watching a bunch of, Tiffany hardware jewelry videos. I don't know if, yeah, there's a couple of people that I watched that got it. I think there's one girl that got exactly the one that I wanted as well. But her reasoning was also very similar. Her reasoning is that I don't remember the name of the girl, but like she married into an Indian family. So Indian families, they tend to wear a lot of yellow gold, and so for her it was the sort of like the choice of metal, and also she was getting it as part of her wedding gift or something like that. It was part of a gift. And so
Dowry,
it
like
was
a
going to be a
dowry.
piece that she's going to have forever and that she'll wear often, because whenever she is with her family, which everybody already wears a lot of yellow gold, then that's going to be her jewelry, but it's not going to be like it's not necessarily going to be the Indian jewelry, but it's still yellow gold and it represents her. So in her case, which she's going to get a lot of cost per wear, makes total sense.
Yeah.
Which doesn't apply to me. I think deep down I'm probably not ready to buy it, which is why we're still discussing about it. But it's still on my wish list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let me pull this one. Thanks for me. For the love of bags, Ken, I think you proved to be a great Hermes client. I say step back and not shop as much and continue to ask for a bag, and I think you'll still acquire it. Yes, that's the plan. That is definitely the plan this year. I mean, there are a few things that I want. Like I don't mind just checking out because there's only 2 collections a year anyway. Don't mind taking a look at it. But based on the past 2 years of looking at their ready to wear collection, it's hit and miss. So I'm not to say I won't go and take a look. So I definitely won't shop as much. I like to see what they come out with the fine jewelry. There's a new piece that came out, kind of sparked my interest. Do I like? Am I head over heels on it? I don't know, because I need to see if it matches everything that I have. Yeah, but other than that, I think it's a natural progression of not shopping as much because I already have so much. And if I cannot sort of, incorporate pieces into my, like, for example, jewelry, if I really want to wear everything, it has to sort of go. I cannot incorporate into my lifestyle. I think I'll still go and check it out. But I feel I'm more brave now to actually go in and not buy anything. I think the last 2 years, I do still want to buy something. Like I still want to, at least most trips, I want to buy something. I do have 1 or 2 trips where I don't buy anything, but I feel, because I want to build that relationship, I want to keep chasing the bag. Each trip that I do, that I visit to my essay, I make it worthwhile for the whole experience. But I think for this year, I'm more into just going in, and if something really sparks, then I'll buy. So in a way, it'll be not shopping as much, more window shopping at Hermes, which is it's gonna be something different this year.
I'm gonna add also that given the newest price updates, yes, we also got it at the same time this year, because I think last year we got it a month later. But this year it started, I think it was the same for everyone. January 2nd, right? It went out.
I don't know the prices.
Some things I looked at some of the things I already own, and I looked at the prices. Some things went up as much as 27%. a pair of shoes that I like, the sheep sandals with the fur, went up by 27%. That's a lot for Hermes. That's Chanel level increase. The regular shoes were like 19%, if I remember correctly. Pretty sure. That's also, I mean, that's ridiculous for Hermes because they are known to have modest price increases in the past, but no longer the case, right? So I feel like it's going to be easier to do window shop or to maybe sometimes come home from a shopping trip with nothing, because
Yeah.
these price increases may not affect a certain clientele,
Mm.
but I'm pretty sure there's a big chunk of their clients who are just very normal working class people that will like those couple $100 more per item, or if it's a bigger item, thousands of dollars more is gonna be a big deal. That's
Mm.
like grocery for the week or something, you know what I mean? It's like gonna matter. So I feel like it's gonna be so much easier to say no, to say no and to not buy certain things and to not buy even
Mm.
sometimes.
Yeah. I don't know what's the price increase because I didn't check out the bags from, I think, the European prices. I did sort of see it on IG. Purse Bob put out something like 16%, or
The
but it's
bag,
slightly different, right? Slightly different in Singapore. Like, is it the same?
it's not the same. Like the US prices are different from the European price increase. It's gonna be different from the Canadian. It's gonna be different from Hong Kong, Singapore. Everywhere is gonna be different. But I just looked at a few things that I buy often that I
Let's look.
own,
I'm looking now. Yep.
and it went up significantly. I love buying scarves. They went up by 13% or close to 13%. Yeah.
Wow.
Shoes, the sheep sandals that I own so many of, 19 to 26%, 27%. That's insane, right? I always said that they were more affordable back then, especially compared to Chanel, but now they're getting expensive. They're getting very expensive.
I'm curious about the jewelry. Let's take a look. Let's take a look.
The jewelry?
Wow, wow, wow. Yep, they went out a lot.
Yeah, the jewelry,
Oh
there's a new
my
collection,
goodness.
but that collection is starting like the base items, like the very simple ring with the dangling charm is already in like 3,000 something. I thought that was a lot for such a simple ring.
Oh yeah, it's a lot, huh?
It's a lot. It's
Oh
very
my goodness.
which is why I'm kind of glad that I have a simple wish list this year, and I'm okay with, like I would still like to get a Constance just because I never got one, but like if I can't get a Kelly, then maybe that is it. Well, it's not that I
Yeah.
can't get a Kelly. It will just be like, when can I get the Kelly if I want one, right? Because it's either going to be the Constance or the Kelly. Oh gosh.
Oh gosh. So yeah, I guess it'll be much easier not to shop much anyway. So
The price increases this year were very shocking. Is very, very shocking. No
wow.
warning either, because last year the US and Canada got the price increase in February. So we kind of still had another month to kind of like do the last minute shopping, but this year, no, same time as everyone else.
Okay, let me pull this one. Are you girls planning to do a members meetup in 20? I would love to. So actually, when I said travel more, I don't know. We might actually go to the States as well. Japan doesn't happen. So it
Ah,
depends on my brothers. Because again, I though I want to travel, I would of course want to travel and see my family. So if that is the one, then let's do that. Okay.
well, my mom wants to go to Hong Kong this year, and she did ask me if
Ah!
I want to go. And as I always tell her and to anybody, I can't say yes yet because I can't commit. So I'll have to see when we get closer.
Nice. Oh, I love this. Okay, I'll pull out one reflection. So Alta is saying that great reflections. Like the both of you, my goals are using my things more often, enjoying them, simplifying, looking over what I actually own, laser focus on a couple of items. Yeah. I think it was really fun, right? During the whole pandemic's not fun, but during that time, I mean, some people really locked down, but I think a lot of us also when they sort of let loose, let loose with spending, enjoying, and sort of now that life sort of come back, we sort of come back to reality, and after accumulating quite a bit of things, I think we're kind of enjoying it now. So that's how I feel.
Yeah, plus like there's always a time and place for like getting certain things. I feel like right now with the global economy, which is kind of like more on the downside, it's just making everyone kind of also rethink some of their purchases and or maybe just not buying quite as often. So it's normal. I feel like it's normal to have changes in the way you decide to do things.
Okay, I'm going to pull this from Clara. Good tip I got was to buy things based on your real life versus aspirational life.
Mm.
Yeah. I think this was I mean obviously constantly understanding what is my real life, because sometimes it's blurred, like cuz you think you want to do something, you want to be this person, or you will be, because the will be, right? So it gets a little blurry sometimes. And I've done that with some of my handbags. Like, am I a red color, simplifying it. So, am I a red color bag girl? Do I need that pop of color? But in my mind, I think, yeah, I kind of like that pop of color. And those are the mistakes you got to sort of accept that no, you don't need a pop of color. You don't need a red bag. Yeah, based on your real life, I'm not that kind of person. It takes those mistakes, right? A few times, not as many as me, but a few times you go like, okay, I'm not that kind of person. Even though it sounds nice to have and nice to be that kind of person, but it's really knowing yourself to say like, no, that's not me. And accepting it.
Yeah, and I feel like for me, it applies to me buying what I actually need when I need it, because I always buy for some imaginary occasion. It could be an occasion where I'm like, oh, maybe one day I need to go to like some sort of event, right? Like, come on, it may happen, but I'll just buy
Yeah.
it then.
Mm.
Yeah.
My problem with that one, right? So because I don't like, with ready to wear, I don't have like, oh my god, I'm going to dress up for it. But I used to, and I'm still working on this, buy things for holidays. Oh my gosh, when I plan for a holiday, especially like this 2024, I want to go somewhere, I love to buy things for a holiday. So stupid.
Yeah.
I love to buy new clothes for a holiday. Oh my gosh, we're going to a cold weather. I need to buy jackets. And it just becomes an excuse. So what I've started to practice, even though I haven't gone on a real holiday for a while, but in my past, like maybe the one that I went to America to visit you, I buy it when I'm there. Even though it will
Mm,
maybe more expensive and may not have the design, but I don't even know if I need it,
mm,
right? And I will just bring whatever I have for the trip. Maybe just allow myself that one piece of thing that I may think I need. Ended up, I might not even use it, and get things at the location. So yeah, for holidays, I have what you have. Like ooh, it's coming up. I might need this. I might need that. I end up having a lot of excess and a lot of unnecessary purchases. And then during the trip, I just never use it because it just didn't happen.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's a
Yeah.
different for me because when I go on holiday, it's usually it's always the same places, so I already know how it is. And I already
Mm,
know what I need. And I probably have a lot of things already. Whenever I go to like not the usual holidays, it's let's say Hong Kong, right? It's not my I don't go like super often, but if I go, I do agree that it's a little different for me because I am going to a shopping heaven. Literally, I can buy anything there. Whereas I come from like it's not that you have no shopping here, but it's not the same level of shopping. So like I am okay to also I usually actually try to bring less things in my
less.
suitcase, kind of emptier, so I can buy more things when I'm there and bring back stuff. But I could be when I'm there buy things for a future occasion that does not exist, and that's what I want to prevent.
True, true.
Yeah,
That also, yeah. Holidays are usually where everything just goes like, ah,
yeah. It's
the
just an
mind doesn't
excuse
work
to
same.
spend money.
Okay, Clara sharing something about your necklace is a hot topic, huh, Amy? I also think that the necklace may also may also be better bought pre-loved. The hardware line
Mm,
feels more trendy to me, and I've never seen you wear chunky jewelry often, and would be safer in case.
I guess I don't have any because I never had the budget and like readiness to buy such chunky fine jewelry, right? It's a whole other level of luxury to me. Um, yeah, it's I don't think I'm ready, which is why I need to wait on it. It's still gonna be on my wish list, but I feel like that is the reason why I brought it up during um this live show. It's still gonna be like my one piece that I strive to have, but like if I don't have it, I think it's okay.
Yeah.
But I'm always gonna think about it, I think. If there's an opportunity to buy a pre-love somewhere, then I might get it, you know?
Mhm. Yep. It's a
Yes,
good. I mean, it's beautiful, but yeah, it's one of. I think the price point is the hard one. Like the ring that I have, and everybody also said buy it pre-love, but it's because the price is so high.
it is, yeah.
You
Even pre-love is
really
gonna be
need to.
expensive.
Yeah, you really need to sit down and just like, oh, do I really want it? Will I use it? Will I, all of that. And
Yeah.
I think it's a nice piece, but yeah, the price is it's pretty crazy.
I might just end up with the earrings first and then see if I need the necklace. I think that's the safer choice. I think I
Mm.
was just getting so excited about the necklace because I finally tried it on and I literally was just like fell in love. Oh my goodness.
It is beautiful. I've tried the earrings actually, and they're actually surprisingly comfortable. They're not, they look pretty chunky, but they don't feel like they're so heavy, dangling down your ears. And
Mm,
for something so trendy looking, it actually looks quite. Mm, it still looks very sophisticated. So it's trendy. It's kind of loud, but in a very elegant, sophisticated way,
mm,
which
yeah.
brings to the timelessness of the earrings. So the necklace, yeah, definitely something more stand out. But the earrings could be a classic piece that you might use more often.
Yeah. The earrings I have no problems getting it anytime. The necklace is where I'm really having trouble deciding for sure I'm getting it. But I
Mm.
truly love it though. That's definitely for sure I love it. But I can't pull the trigger. Can't pull the trigger.
Yeah, wait a little bit. Wait a little bit.
First world
Oh,
problems.
yeah. Okay, so we are at our 2 hour mark. We hope you enjoyed this luxury mindset setting. So, like I said earlier, we will see how we go this year. It is only day 6, and I have to tell you, in this 1 week, it's been a pretty for me. It's been busy, so it just flew by, like goodbye week 1 of 2024. Yeah, we'll see how we go. Half year, we will do a checkpoint, and we hope you will share your checkpoints as well. Like, you pretty sure you have some goals. See how we do. See what extra things we might have accidentally bought, or totally give up. Like, we could be really proud of ourselves halfway through the year and say that, you know what, this came, and hi, I'm still here. I'm still standing. So yeah, we'll do that checkpoint. And next week, we have our members live, both on Saturday here in Singapore and then Sunday. And they'll be on my channel as well. So we will
one on Sundays on my channel, actually.
On Amy's side, yeah. So we will see you next week. And yeah, check out our community post because we'll update the calendar on the timing. If you came in late, Sunday, there's a slight shift in timing. It will be earlier in the morning. Yeah, so then we'll see you next week. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.